Ray Martin here, your social media and family life director at Church of the Ascension, and thanks for joining me as we work on making these Rosary Chaplets. And this is a fun project that's very therapeutic for me, and I think it makes a great gift. It's something that's nice and easy to carry around with you as a constant reminder of the Blessed Mother, and it's a great thing to work on with your family as well. And the first thing we're going to do here is, I like this nylon cord. It's pretty slick material, so it makes moving your knots around pretty easy. And so what I do is, the first thing I'm going to do is measure out about 5 feet. Now you can make a full rosary doing this same method, but for our sake today and for time, we're going to make a Rosary Chaplet. So the first thing that I do here is measure out about 5 feet, and then I am going to burn the ends of this nylon rope just to make sure that it doesn't unfray on us. And that makes tying the knots and everything a lot easier as well. Sometimes it catches a little bit. Get that blown out, no problem. And here we go. So we're ready. Now, once we've got our 5 feet, you don't want to start on one of the end. I run into trouble every once in a while when I don't leave myself enough space here at the end. So maybe a good 1.5 feet in would be a great place to start. And the first thing I'm going to do here is make my first knot, and I'm going to kind of go quickly through this so that you can see the process. But basically you're going to cross over your finger and make 3 wraps, and then tie your end through, and then you're going to tighten down the knot a little bit at a time so that it makes this nice shape. So we'll show you again here. You're going to cross over, you're going to make 3 loops. Sometimes it gets a little bit stuck here on my finger, but get that through. And then let's show you here a little bit slower. So you're going to cross over, and then you're going to have 3 good loops. Get it off, and then slip your end through. Now this is your long end that you're slipping through. You don't have to use your finger. Some people like to use a pencil. I've even used the ends of scissors because they have kind of a pointy end and it helps you slide the rope off, but for some reason I still like using my finger. And you want to make sure that your knots are just a little bit spaced out from one another so that they're not too far apart, but that they're kind of even. So there we go. Now you've got a good idea of what all the knots look like. Now I'm zooming ahead here. Obviously I've got all 10 of my knots put together now, so you can see what they look like. So there's our decade of our rosary all put together. And then for the Glory Be knot, you want to make sure that you are even here with your decade. And then I just make a simple regular overhand knot with both pieces of the rope. Slide everything through and tighten that guy on up. There you go. Now we are ready for our next 3 knots. First 3 knots, our first 3 Hail Mary knots. Now you see you still have your short end and your long end. It's okay at this point to go ahead and cut off the short piece. Now you can make yourself a longer piece if you end up not giving yourself enough room. We'll see how I did here in just a moment. But the first thing we're going to do, of course, is burn off our ends. This end's fraying quite a bit. I probably should just recut it, but for some reason I like burning the nylon rope. So here we go. All right. So we are ready for our next 3 knots. And then we're going to have our cross at the end. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make my 3 barrel knots here. seem to be getting a little bit better at this as I go. You start to remember. Alright, just simply tighten that on down. And you still want it pretty close to your knot, to your other knot there. And I forgot to burn off my end here, that piece that I cut, on the knot as well. There we go. All right, 2 more and we're ready for our cross. Tighten this guy on down. Now I like this black nylon cord, but you can use other types of cord, other colors. I've seen multicolored cords look really pretty. For some reason I think the black is the most masculine, as far as masculine as Rosary Chaplets can go, but I like black, but you can also find all kinds of colors for you and your family. You can use other types of cord as well, but this nylon seems to work pretty well for me. All right. Now I've got my first 3 Hail Mary knots here. We are ready to make the cross for the end. The cross is really simple. What we're going to do first is make 1 more barrel knot here at the end. And this is going to be the top piece of our cross. And then we're going to grab that short rope that we cut off. Now mine might be too short. It's okay if you need to cut a longer piece, but we'll see what we've got here. Right, here's our top. There. All right, now what we're going to do with our shorter piece here is we're just going to tie 1 little overhand knot loop just to kind of secure it in place a little bit. Kind of attach it to the other piece. We're going to get right underneath that knot. Now we need to make a barrel knot on each side. Now this really is too short for my big fingers, but I'll see if I can do it. Waste not, want not. And let's see, maybe I can use a pencil or maybe the ends of my scissors over here. Here we go. This might work. So you can see how you can use things other than your fingers here. I've just got enough, I think. Just barely. And 1 more try. Otherwise, I'll get a longer piece here. I think I can get it. Not leaving myself much to work with here. There we go. Got it. There we go. All right. So you want to tighten that right on up, right next to your top knot. You want everything to be pretty close and tight here, because that's going to make your cross hold together a little bit better. So now we're going to go to the other side of that piece that we attached and make our other arm of the cross. And again, I'm going to have to use scissors here for this side as well. If you get really sophisticated on your top piece of your cross, you can use 4 wraps or 4 loops on your knot, but 3 still looks pretty good. Alright. Now we have both of our arms of the cross. And so the last thing to do, we're going to actually make 2 of the 3 loop barrel knots here for the bottom of our cross. That's going to make the bottom just a little bit longer then the top and the arms, and make it really look like a good cross. I want to make sure everything's tight. If it's not real tight, it tends to just be kind of floppy and doesn't hold its shape very well. So, all right, here we go, our last two, and we're almost there. Home stretch. All right. Everything nice and snug. Last one. Sometimes it's nice to say your prayers for each knot. This is a great activity to do during adoration or meditation time. You could make this as a gift for someone and pray for them while you're making it. Okay, there we go. So now you can see we've got all of our pieces left over. We're just ready to trim the excess rope off. Side and the bottom. And then we'll want to remember to burn the edges so that it doesn't unravel on us. And we are all set, ready to gift or say our rosary. The edges finished up. And we are good to go.